Yes, everybody. Hope you're doing fantastically well. It's Connor here, and we are back with the Rumour Mill. Yes, I hope you enjoyed your weekend. Hope you had a good Saturday, a good start to your Sunday, and all that good stuff. And yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you've been up to. Tell me, have you been partying? Have you been seeing family? What on earth have you been doing? You've just been chilling out? Have you been working like I have? But listen, we're back here with another episode of the Rumour. As I said, quick shout out to mate, I've forgotten your name. I was walking around in Pocklington yesterday. And if anybody, if any of you know where Pocklington is, it's between Hull and York. And I was walking back into my mate's house, and a guy just pulled up, started pointing at me, and he just said, Connor. And yeah, he's from Gloucestershire, and I think he was visiting someone in Pocklington. So it's nuts when people see you just in random market towns. But there you go. Shout out to you, mate. Yeah, shout out to you. Apologies for not remembering your name. Shocking from me. But guys, make sure you're slapping your likes on the video as well. Comment and subscribe as well. We've got a Patreon account if you guys want some bonus content. Got 2 videos coming out this week as well for the first time on the channel in about 2 years. We'll be doing a watch-along for the Cagliari game. I've been asked for about 2 years to be doing watch-alongs. I'll treat you to a pre-season watch-along, so there you go. Anyway, let's get into the news. So loads going on at the minute with Leeds United. According to The Athletic, Manchester City have given the green light to clubs in and around this player to essentially start a bidding war. It's James McAtee at Manchester City. That's according to a report from The Athletic, who claim that following previous interest from Leeds United for James McAtee, for him in the central attacking midfield role, the number 8 role, Manchester City have essentially said, look, we will be open to offers. The likes of Leeds, Leicester, Brighton, Southampton and Villa are all keen on the move for the England under-20 international, with several unnamed top clubs believed to have made contact with the reigning Premier League champions over a move for the teenager. Now, this is good in a sense for Leeds United, because I do believe that you're building relationships with clubs, by doing transfer business previously. I do think that builds connections. It does build links as well. It does build trust. Southampton have done a lot of business with Manchester City this window. They've done business with them in the past as well. Leeds have now done business with them regarding Calvin Phillips. Obviously, Burnley have established a relationship with Vincent Kompany. They brought Ante Muric in the other day. They've also brought in other City players. So you can establish links, you can establish connections, as I've said, and trust, and build that. So that's positive for Leeds United. James McAtee, I think, would be a fantastic sign-in. Did a few bits on him, obviously, with the Manchester Evening News, who you guys know that I work for, and all this sort of good stuff. And McAtee has played with the under-23 setup for Manchester City for a while. He's got a fantastic name. Him and Cole Palmer, as I mentioned on the channel before, have fantastic pedigree, fantastic potential as well at the upper echelon of the Premier League game. So yeah, I mean, I'd be well on board with it. I think McAtee would solve a lot of our problems as well. I think he's an industrious worker. I think he'd work really nicely there with Aronson. It'd give us the ability to be able to fluctuate when it comes to formations and systems and all this sort of good stuff, vary things, which I think is only going to be beneficial for Leeds United. So yeah, James McAtee, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Okay, Charles de Ketelaere, there is so much going around on him at the minute. Positives when it comes to Leeds United. What on earth is going on? Well, speaking to a couple of people behind the scenes, you guys know that we've had Graham on the channel as well, speaking to Graham off air and all this sort of stuff. It does look like it is positive when it comes to Leeds United and Charles de Ketelaere. AC Milan are seemingly not budging in their valuation. They're looking at alternatives. At the minute, they're looking at plan B, C, D, and E from what I have been told. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Are they looking at meeting in the middle with a valuation? The struggle with Club Brugge is similarly with Leeds and Rafinha. We had Chelsea's bid on the table, and it's the exact same scenario. But the difference is, I think Leeds were always sort of willing to come to a middle ground with Barcelona. With Club Brugge, it doesn't look like they are willing to budge at all. Leeds have essentially, today, according to 90 Min, obviously Graham works for the company, and he was saying earlier about this. Leeds have now submitted a new £34 million bid to sign the 21-year-old. So Leeds have increased their bid from 30 million to 34 million. That's now on the table. That is now on the table, and that is going to be extremely difficult for AC Milan to match. That's probably about 40 million euros. There's no way they're going that high, and allegedly at the minute they are exploring alternatives. Now, how do I see this going? I keep getting a lot of people asking me on Twitter and all this sort of good stuff. How do I see this going? Well, I think it's going to be tough. I still think it's going to be a tough one for Leeds United because I think he clearly wants to go there. Now, if you're Charles de Ketelaere and you clearly want to go somewhere, what you're going to do is wait and wait and wait and wait. He might do the Rafinha thing, which we all thought was going to happen, where he'd maybe wait till January and see if they could make it. That's what I think Rafinha would have done. I don't think he'd have gone anywhere else. I think he'd have waited till January, see what happened there, and then they'd have moved. I think the same thing's going to happen with de Ketelaere. I'd be really shocked if we got this one done. A lot of people are really upset at the fact that he said, I don't want to come to Leeds and all this sort of stuff. I don't think he has actually said that. It's not a Frankie de Jong Man United situation. He's just said that his preference will be AC Milan. And I think that's key because a lot of Leeds fans, understandably, will cling on to that. Oh, he didn't want to come to Leeds. He didn't want to play for the club. Don't sign him. I think dreaming is always a factor in football. De Ketelaere clearly wants to play for Milan. Beautiful city, one of the most successful clubs in world football ever. What are they? 5 to 6 time European champions. A massive club, a huge club. And that's not to take anything away from Leeds, but on the global scale, AC Milan are bigger than Leeds, the Serie A champions as well. So I think the beneficiary for Leeds is money talks. Club Brugge would rather settle with Leeds United. They've agreed a fee with Leeds United. This is something we all know. So if AC Milan cannot match that valuation, there is going to be a problem there. However, if Charles de Ketelaere then says, come and get me in January or come and get me next summer, I'll stay on at Club Brugge. I'll play. I believe they've got Champions League football. They've definitely got European football. I'll play European football for another year and we'll see where we're at. You're going to get a cheaper value in a year's time. I won't sign an extension of my contract or anything like that. That is where AC Milan will probably be talking to him. Maldini did go over and it didn't look like much was sorted in terms of they met the Club Brugge representatives and it didn't look like much was sorted there. So this is all positive news for Leeds United, but it also depends, obviously, on what on earth Charles de Ketelaere wants. As I say, player power is huge. We saw that with the Rafinha move. If he does not want to move, categorically to Leeds United, which we don't know. It's all paraphrasing at the minute. It's all paraphrasing. Then we'll have to wait and see. A little update on Callum Wendo as well. The sporting director at PSG has said he's a huge fan of him. Obviously, we know there's been a lot of change at PSG. And apparently, he really wants Callum Wendo to stand there and prove himself. I think he's a very, very good player there. Obviously, there's been a lot of movement behind the scenes at PSG, which means that old faces like Callum Wendo get to prove themselves again. Lots of reports are stating that he wants to stay at PSG, prove himself, and see if he can get into that starting lineup. So whether or not that means his valuation is going to increase, whether or not they're able to sort of dangle that within Leeds United, I don't think that'll happen, to be honest. I still think if Leeds went in with 25 million euros, they'd accept. I think the big problem is at the minute, I think Leeds want de Ketelaere and that's it. And I think they're going to hang on and hang on and hang on until they get him. But let me know what you guys think. Are you excited by the de Ketelaere news? It looks like there's been a big, big problem with AC Milan, and it looks like these could break down. From what reports are suggesting on Monday or Tuesday, AC Milan could be walking away. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, guys. Do you think we will be able to get Charles de Ketelaere, or do you think that is signed, sealed, delivered at these AC Milans? Please let me know. What do you think of James McAtee? Would you like that as a sign-in? And what do you think going into the season at this moment in time? I think with Sinisterra, it's very, very quiet, which is, I think they always say no news is good news, but I don't agree with that, to be honest, especially when it comes to Leeds United injuries. I've said before that I think a front four of Gelhardt, Aronson, Harrison, and Bamford is the way to go. But I still think that leaves Leeds with a lot to do when it comes to pace in and behind Patrick Bamford. I think Sinisterra gave that little bit of explosiveness from that three just in and behind Patrick Bamford. There's a lot of Leeds fans talking about it on forums online now, how we go about the Wolverhampton Wanderers game, because it doesn't look like Sinisterra is going to be fit for that, which is typical Leeds United. So, yeah, it's absolutely imperative right now that we get reinforcements in. It's imperative that Leeds look good against Cagliari as well. I do think these pre-season games do give you an indication of how you do start the season. I do. Sometimes, listen, pre-season games can be a lot of rubbish. Of course they can. However, I think with a new manager, which Jesse Marsh is, really a new system, new players, you do derive a lot from the pre-season games. Guys, let me know what you think, as I've just said 1,001 times. Please sign up to the Patreon if you want some bonus content. If you want to donate to the channel, we're trying to up the content. The debrief is going to be back tomorrow. I am going to be doing a show with my dad. It's very, very difficult at the minute, guys, to be doing a lot of these live shows because I'm trying to do the Rumour Mill every single day as well. So doing that, working, and then doing another show later on, it can turn into 12, 13-hour days with the editing and all this sort of stuff that goes into it. So I am trying my best. I am trying my utmost. I promise you, I'm just trying to figure out a schedule at this moment in time. But yeah, I know you guys really enjoy the phone in. I'm going to try keep that up. I just need to do that on a free day. I believe that will be Wednesday this week. If anybody wants to get involved in that, it's going to be a bit of a pre-season one, maybe a little bit more of an evaluation on what you think's gone on so far. It's going to be about an hour long, guys. So yeah, look out for that one on Wednesday. But aside from that, everybody check out the debrief, which will be out tomorrow. The Rumour Mill is going to be out every single day. And as I said, we'll try get a Generation Leeds thing in this week as well. But as you can see, everybody, it can be quite time consuming. And I enjoy it, of course. But yeah, no, listen, we'll get those 3 shows. We will, of course, but it's just going to take a little bit of time to arrange it.